Good evening and welcome to Wisdom Walk Talk here on Black Hole Radio and my YouTube channel Wisdom Walk 2 Self Mastery. I am your host and guide, Jojapa Maria Ensaroma. February is the first of 3 fire months in this water year that opens a new age for the evolution of humanity with mind-blowing breakthroughs that will burn away that which is now archaic. My theme for this month is Relighting Your Spark for Life. Through 3 live broadcasts and accompanying videos, I'll provide wisdom and insights from the movie Soul and from my own personal experience to illuminate how your extinguished spark can be relit, beginning tonight with Listen to Your Heart. So here's my overview for tonight's program. I'm going to start off with talking about the spark of life, what it is, and how it goes dim. Then I'm going to talk about relighting your spark if it's gone too dim or totally dim, by listening to your heart and what that's about. And then I'm going to leave you with a contemplative exercise that you can do regarding listening to your heart. My opening quotes for this week come from first a Native American proverb which says, "Listen to the wind, it talks. Listen to the silence, it speaks. Listen to your heart, it knows." And then a quote from Albert Einstein that I love that says, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift." So, spark of life. The movie Soul, which I've watched maybe about 3 times now, maybe 4, which I just really was blown away by and loved because, of course, it's talking about these new thought things that usually you're only seeing in books by Caroline Meese or Wayne Dyer or some other folks, Deepak Chopra, other folks that are noted for that. And to see someone have taken this whole question about life and the meaning of life and the spark of life and put it into an animation that children can access as well as adults, I thought was really phenomenal. And kudos to the creators at Pixar for doing that. So one thing I was blown away by in this story was how they separated out purpose in life from spark of life. And it made a lot of sense. Because what they emphasize is how our purpose in life can become an addiction and can drive us into a no man's land where we're so wrapped up with our purpose that we forget about what life is really also about, which is being here and being able to be appreciative and grateful and awake and aware and present to our existence. So that got me thinking, yeah, that spark of life, it's something really important and we don't talk about it enough. So I put my little research hat on and I Googled and got some information because I thought I would define spark of life for you in 3 levels of consciousness. So first we have a 3D level of consciousness that is pretty new in its science, because somebody actually was able to detect that when the sperm and the egg come together, there is a flash of light that occurs for when conception actually happens. And they say that this is when the sperm enters the egg, it triggers a calcium to increase, which releases zinc from the egg. As the zinc shoots out, it binds to small molecules which emit a fluorescence that can be picked up by microscopic cameras. So at a 3D level, we have this proof that there really is a spark for life. Then there's something called the spark of life philosophy, and it's coming from care centers for people with dementia. So it's coming out of that, and it's a movement for helping to provide care for people dealing with dementia and other mind debilitating diseases and treat them like they're still human. not treat them because they can't communicate or they're forgetful or whatever, like they're disposable. And so the Spark of Life philosophy, I'll read you, it's called A Way of Being with the Highest Intent to Lift the Spirit, Awaken Dormant Abilities, and Heal Relationships. The focus is on how to connect, how to communicate, and how to care. The aim is to foster kindness, compassion, empathy, respect, and an attitude of unconditional love. It's a philosophy because it is about a mindset and attitude. And I call this a fourth dimensional awareness about our spark of life. And so let's go into the fifth dimensional awareness, which is what the movie Soul does so well. Because the spark of life is not your purpose in life, it's the energetic for finding and living on purpose. Your spark is what has you want to be alive, conscious or unconsciously. Your spark is connected to your heart, to your choosing love over fear, and to your it, which I'll talk about in my third video. And so this spark that we have, this ability, this energetic to be here. And in the movie, it does it so beautifully. 22, who's been around for a couple million years, hasn't come to Earth yet because she hadn't found her spark. She hadn't connected to her spark. And she does that, of course, when she gets a chance to live inside the lead character's body. But we learn through that there is this ability to really be present and appreciate everything that is happening in this domain, that all of it can be meaningful, can be appreciated. And so we all have this spark. We come with the spark. We can't get here, as they show in the film, without the spark of life, the spark for life. Now, what definitely happens is in our journey, and because we all get a core wound, we all get some emotional pain, and it can come with some physical pain too, but that begins to shut down our spark as well as shut down our heart. Yeah. And so our spark can get dimmed as we go through life. Heartbreak, unexpected loss, the death of loved ones, repeated disappointment and loss, invalidation, and when it's repeated and we begin to believe it, will definitely extinguish our spark. Trauma in all its forms, and again, anything that puts us into a place of believing, I don't want to be here and I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah. So the thing that's important to know is that our spark for life really can't be lit by our intellect. In other words, we can't think our way back into it. And the film does a good job of showing that, because 22 doesn't think her way into getting her spark. She actually is about the experience that she has to be able to see and hear and smell and taste and experience life. So if you can't get it back intellectually, the question becomes, so how do I get it back? How do I relight my spark? And one of the most important ways I believe that we can do that is by connecting to and listening to our heart. Now, because in modern culture, we are very, very much focusing on intellectual information and education as part of our growth and development. We have left out our emotional intelligence in the school curriculum. And so it's very, very common for us to enter into young adulthood having learned not to listen to our heart. But what do we listen to? We listen to the stock market. We listen to what's the latest fad. We listen to Facebook. We listen to whatever. In other words, we're looking outside of ourselves to really learn and know and understand. And so by choosing to open up and learn how to really get reconnected to your heart and listen to your heart, your spark of life can be ignited. Now, the good news is that our hearts are really always open. They're naturally open. So reconnecting just takes a willingness, a practice, and a faith. Another big question that comes up with listening to your heart is, Josepha, how do I know the difference between my heart and my devil, my pain body, my fear? And that's a really important question. So here's a way you can discern and distinguish between, is it your heart talking to you, or is it all that fear stuff? First of all, the heart never yells at you or shames you or blames you. It's very soft when it speaks. It's very loving. And your heart messages feel good. Yeah, because it's your truth and it doesn't lie. Your heart message brings inner peace and calm, not anxiety and fear. The heart message can move you to tears versus how the pain body or your fear stuff can move you to anger or thoughts of revenge or victim consciousness, right? Somebody's out to get me. Your heart message brings compassion, not judgment, not judgment. So most importantly, when you receive a message from your heart, even if it elicits some tears, because you got to feel some pain, you'll feel good. You'll feel like something got released. You'll feel better. Yeah. When your pain body's talking to you, you don't feel better. You can feel really crazy. And of course, you can also go into a lot of fear. So here's an exercise that I want to share with you for a way that you can consciously reconnect to your heart and learn how to listen to your heart more than what you may already be doing now. Right before going to sleep, or when you're just waking up in the morning, when you're in that theta state, okay, you're going to place your hands over your heart, with your eyes closed, and you're going to ask it to tell you, what do I need to know so that I can be loving to myself this day, or meaning when you wake up in the morning. Now, like any exercise, this takes practice, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. And once you're certain you're listening to your heart, you can ask it more direct questions like, is this the best relationship for me, the best job, the best home, etc.? And your heart will tell you. You can also ask it, what do I need to do in this challenging situation with this problem that I have to be true to myself? Or does this person love me, or am I being codependent? Yeah. Your heart will be able to tell you your truth. Another way we talk about listening to our heart is intuition. Yeah, basically that. So try it out. And again, you have to practice it. I mean, you have to do it repeatedly, consistently. And the more you do it, the more it will grow and the more it will work for you. And so you don't have to go outside of yourself to know what is the right thing and the loving thing for you. And it will definitely help to respark your life. As I've started with my last video and broadcast, I'm going to close out my teachings with a saying from Mama Sarah. So here's my Sarah saying for this week. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Ashe. All right, I'm closing out tonight thanking my wonderful engineer and the entire Black Hole Radio Be Well family for continuing to support my work. Yvette and family, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you madly. To all my regular listeners out there, and to all of those who have wisdom walk with me, and you know who you are. To my family on both coasts and my spiritual kin everywhere, my transformational leadership colleagues, to my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, and to those who may be listening or watching for the first time. I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. I couldn't do this without your interest and support. Next week, I will be talking about this next part of sparking, keeping our spark alive or relighting it. And so I'm going to talk about loving your life, how choosing to love your life can relight your spark. Yeah. The book, Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery, Ancient Wisdom for Transforming Pain, sold at online booksellers like Barnes & Noble, definitely on Amazon. You can get it through Kindle and Abe's Books and even Walmart. So it's still available, and you may find it very helpful to you as you're navigating through these challenging times. And last but not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. Please have a healthy and safe Earth Week. Open yourselves up to receive. Work on opening that heart up more. Get that spark going. Continue to wear your mask, practice social distancing and safe relating, wash those hands frequently, avoid perceived safety and practice science safety. And most importantly, do remember, you are not disposable. You are divine. Good night now.